Om Asmatgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatano Jagatraya Guru. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasetravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Vishwametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sri Narayana. With the blessings of Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji, we're continuing Bhagavad Gita. We're in chapter 13. We finished slokas 19 to 21 last session. Before we proceed, happy Makar Sankranti to everyone. Thanks for joining on this auspicious day. So we'll review some of the questions from our last session, right? So I'll share my screen. Okay. These look very simple, slokas, but they have very deep meaning. It answers some of the questions that we may get about karma yoga, about cycles of births and death, and why do we get these births? What kind of births we would get? These are the kind of questions that everyone gets, right? So why do I have this kind of birth right now? What should I do to get better? All those questions are answered in very simple slokas. Okay. Um, so you're able to see the screen, right? So do the attributes that cause bondage and those that lead to liberation belong to Prakriti or Jivatma?
Prakriti.
Prakriti. So basically, we have to differentiate between Prakriti and Jivatma. Prakriti, our body is part of Prakriti, or made up of elements of Prakriti. Okay. Do we have a choice in developing qualities that either cause bondage or lead to liberation? Do we have a choice?
Yes.
Yes. Very important. So no one is forcing, or it's not written, when we take birth, it's not written that this is how it is going to be and I cannot change. It's not like that. Everyone has a choice. And it doesn't matter what kind of birth that we currently have. What is the cause of actions of the body and senses?
When
Who
they
is the A?
interact with Prakriti, right? From the gunas of the Prakriti, uh, like reaction happens, right, between body senses and the uh,
Right. Between, the choice is Atma and Prakriti.
yeah.
Who is responsible or who is the agent for all our actions?
Atma.
Uh, Prakriti.
Sorry, Prakriti. Okay, yeah.
Agent of our actions. Our, in the sense, see, here, uh, when we say our, like we are considering both Atma and body together. That is our. I'm not saying our, saying myself and you. Not like that. So our actions, my actions. See, my is typically Atma, right? Atma's is, I is Atma. So if I am doing any action, right, I is a combination of body and Atma. It is not just Atma, right? So when I am living person, a Purushaha, it's not male or female, the body which has an Atma in it, a Jivatma in it, body which is functioning, when that body is performing actions, who is the cause of those actions? That's Prakriti. Okay. So the kind of actions are derived based on the body and the qualities of the body, the qualities that it derives from the Prakriti, from material nature. Okay. So it is not like Atma needs those actions. See, when we are able to see the difference between Atma and Prakriti, Atma and the body as separate entities, and the actions correspond to the body, then naturally what happens? We don't get attached so much to those actions. It is not like our actions that we have some vested interest in them, right? When I say our, there I'm referring to Atma, right? So Atma is not going to get anything out of those actions directly as a result. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of action does it, it does. It doesn't need food, let's say simple actions of the body, or breathing, eating food, taking care of the body. All those are related to the body only. They are due. We are doing those because we have the body. Body is the agent of actions. It is not like Atma needs those things, or Atma has something to gain from the action itself, right? It's important to understand. The next question: who is the cause of experiencing pleasure and pain?
This is Atma, right?
Atma. Yeah. So Atma is the one that is deriving um, the the pleasure and pain out of those actions. Joy, sorrow, pleasure, pain. Those are the experiences that Atma is. I mean, Atma is placed in this body to experience those actions, first of all, right? So when we are, let's say we have sorrow, that sorrow is because of something that, action that was done or not done, whatever, right? So we are experiencing that sorrow. That sorrow is for Atma. Body does not have sorrow. Okay. So we okay, now let's go to the next question. What causes Atma's association with Prakriti? Why do we take birth? I mean, Atma's association with Prakriti is a different way of saying why are we taking this birth? You know.
The karmic
Um,
bond. Yes,
yeah,
karmic bond.
karmic bondage. Why do we get karmic bondage?
Because of vasanas we have, because of interaction with Prakriti, right? The what we the gunas, right? Because of interaction with Prakriti, we have this gunas, sattva, rajas, kumara, based on which, right? We have the karmic bondage.
Yeah, so basically guna sangha is the answer. So attachment to the qualities. Qualities, not just the quality by itself, the effects of those qualities. So basically what happens is you have a certain quality, or you derive certain quality from the nature. Okay. So sattva, rajas, and tamas are the three qualities. So whatever action that we do is based on these three qualities, and uh, that action is resulting in some kind of joy, sorrow, right? We do it with expectations, and we are happy if the expectations are met. And in order for that expectation, I mean, in order for satisfying that desire, we do that activity, right? So basically, we are experiencing the effects of those qualities, right? The qualities are driving the action, that the actions are giving us the experiences, and till that is fine. No issues there, right? But if you get attached to them is the problem. Okay, so um, if you think that these experiences are going to happen, right, and not get affected by them, then we are not going to be acquiring karmic bondage. So, like, try to link it to what we learned earlier. Balance of mind in pleasure and pain, so joy and sorrow, right? What does that balance of mind means? Not getting attached.
Not attaching. Yes.
Yeah. So if you don't have the balance of mind, means that, let's say we face some happiness, we get attached to that happiness. We jump up and down, right? And we want more and more happiness. We do everything to get that happiness. So we are getting attached to that happiness. Or we get sorrow. And then we are like bothered by that sorrow, and get affected by it, and don't want to do any activity because of that sorrow. So, for example, Arjuna, expecting sorrow, he doesn't want to do it. So he was getting attached to that kind of, I'm going to get sorrow. Of course, there a lot of people are going to be hurt in the war. So sorrow will come, right? But getting attached to it and taking an action based on it, or getting carried by it, is attachment to it. We are attaching ourselves to it, not thinking logic, not thinking objectively, in another words. So when we get attached to it, we lose the balance of mind. And we have learned so many times, one of the basic principles is balance of mind. That first thing that Lord Krishna teaches us is titiksha, right? Tolerance, not being affected by those experiences. See, it came here in this sloka. So attachment to the qualities is the one, qualities and the effect of those qualities, like pleasure and pain, is the cause for Atma's association with Prakriti, or is the cause for us to take birth again and again. Okay. So Lord Krishna tells Arjuna to go above these three qualities, right? One of the slokas. So
Yes.
not, yeah. Balaji Garu, see?
Yeah, I think in second chapter,
Second chapter.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to recollect what that shloka is.
Right. Yeah. So how do we get, basically what Lord Krishna is saying is that don't get attached to those. See, we took birth, this body.
Traigunya Vishya Vedaha Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nidvandvo Nitya Sattvastaha Niryogakshema Atmavan. 45th shloka in second chapter.
That's great, Andy. Thank you. Yeah, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. So, go beyond this. Don't get attached to them. We will have sattva, rajas, and tamas. Without, we will not be able to avoid them, right? Of course, we have to try to move towards sattva, right? We will not be able to avoid them, but don't get attached to them. And don't get attached to the effects of those three gunas. Each one of those qualities will give us pleasure and pain. It's not like sattva will always give pleasure, rajas will give pain, or tamas will give pain. No. Tamas can give pleasure and pain. Rajas can give pleasure and pain. Sattva can also give pleasure and pain. Right? The type of activity that we do is slightly different. The attributes, the qualities that drive that are behind the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas will be different. Like for example, Rajas is anger, hatred, right? With anger and hatred, to satisfy our desires, we do any action. That is Rajas. Okay. Okay. Next question. What determines the type of birth one experiences in the next life? Answer is same.
Gunas.
Yes. It is the gunas that determine, not the actions. Okay. Is it correct to assume that actions alone determine the type of birth
No.
or liberation?
No.
No. So we somehow assume or think that, oh, if I do this action, I will get a better life. If I do this action, I will not get a better life. Right? Or this action will lead me to liberation. We focus on the action, not on the guna.
Intent.
Right? Yeah. Guna is the most important thing. Yeah. We'll learn, every action that we take can be due to a sattva quality, rajas quality, or tamas quality. Right? So a lot of explanation is given in the next chapters. Right? For example, donation can be done. I can donate with sattva or rajas or tamas. Okay. So sattva leads us to better life, better than what we have right now. Rajas is middle, and tamas will bring us down. Okay. Any questions before we proceed? No? Okay, we'll start with sloka 22. I'll share my screen. 22nd sloka. Please stand. Upadrashtanumanta cha
उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च
bharta bhokta maheshwarah
भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः
paramatmeti chapyukto
परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो
dehesmin purushah parah.
देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः
Let's chant together.
उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता भर्ता भोक्ता
महेश्वरः
परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तः देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः
So, extremely important sloka. I'll explain why. Dehe asmin purushaha paraha. Okay, paraha purushaha asmin dehe. Paraha is great. Purushaha is Jivatma. The one that is residing in a body is called Purushaha, not male or female. Paraha Purushaha asmin dehe, in this body, upadrashta. Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwaraha. These are all referring to the Purushaha, is the great Jivatma inside the body. So Upadrashta means the one who is observing clearly, closely, one who is observing. Like imagine we are in this body, we are observing what's going on. Okay. Of course, we also learned that we are experiencing those, right? So we are basically, while we are going in a train, we see all the things that go around, right? From the window, we see outside, and everything is moving. So we are observing, and Upadrashta also means the one who is directing by its will. So it's not just a passive thing, just observing. This Jivatma can impel, can direct. It has the willpower to direct the body. Okay, so that's why it is also called a ruler. We'll see that. So Upadrashta is observing closely and directing at will, by its will. Anumanta, the one who permits activity, or one who is approving. So anything that is happening, I'm approving. Okay, I'm directing, I'm approving, I'm observing in this body. Bharta is the supporter. Husband, not husband. Husband, I mean, one who is supporting is called Bharta. One who is sustaining. So this body is sustained because of Jivatma that is residing, that is present inside this body, right? Otherwise, when the Jivatma leaves, the body is not going to sustain. Bhokta is enjoyer. We saw that, in the one who is enjoying the results of the actions, that is joy, sorrow. So there is one direct result of the action. Like we do work, we get salary. I'm writing a test, I get whatever number of marks or a rank, or I do some activity, somebody praises or criticizes, right? So those are the results of the action itself. That is not for the Atma. Atma is enjoying the joys and sorrows of those actions. Atma is not getting the money or the praise, or criticisms, or the marks and all those things. It's not for Atma. Atma doesn't have anything to do with it. But those actions give us certain experiences. When somebody praises, we feel happy. Somebody criticizes, we cry, right? So Atma is the one that is experiencing, and attaching to those is the problem, as we learned in the previous sloka. And most importantly, Lord Krishna is saying, so we learned Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, now Maheshwaraha. Maheshwaraha. Ishvara means one who is ruling. So ruler. Okay. Not Lord Shiva. I mean, the meaning. So Lord Shiva is given that name because he's considered the ruler by those who want to call him that way, right? So Ishvara is the one who is ruling, or the ruler. Maheshwara is great ruler. Maha is great. Now, who is the great ruler of the body? Is Atma, Jivatma only. I mean, we are not talking about Paramatma yet. Paramatma is the great ruler for the entire universe. We are not talking about entire universe here. we're talking now locally, like this body. This body has Atma in it, Jivatma in it. I'm only talking about those. Why this Jivatma is taking this kind of, why Jivatma even took this birth in this body. Okay. What kind of birth it will get next life? What kind of body? When I say birth, it's not like being created. Atma is not having birth or death, but it is taking a new body, is what we are calling as birth. So what kind of body will it get? All that is we are discussing here. So the relationship between the Atma and body is given here. Atma is the one who is Anumanta, Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta. Maheshwaraha is a great ruler, great lord of the body. Okay. So this body, very complex, right? Very complicated system if you look at it. Now, one way of looking at it, there is another meaning for it also. Why Jivatma is called Maheshwara, not just Ishvara, right? So it is capable of controlling this complicated body, ruling this body. That's why it is the great ruler of the body. Okay. So when you look at it, see, we have Indriyas. Indriyas are controlled by
Atma.
who? Indriyas are controlled. The next layer, who is controlling Indriyas in our body?
Manas.
Manas.
Manas is controlling the
Manas.
indriyas.
Yes, Manas. Who controls Manas?
Buddhi.
Buddhi. Now, who is controlling all of this?
Atma.
Atma. That's why it is the great ruler. See, like if there are a bunch of people and there is a leader for those people, and for that leader there's another leader on top of that leader. Then finally, whoever is the top is say the great leader, right? So here Atma is called the great Lord, Maheshwaraha. Okay. Paramatma is also referred to, by this name Maheshwara when we are referring to this entire universe. Okay. Not just this body and this Atma. He is the one who is controlling Atmas and body also. So everything is under his rulership. That we learned earlier, right? So he is the Maheshwara also, but when we are referring to just the Atma and the body, Atma is the Maheshwara. All right. And also apicha Paramatma iti uktaha. Paramatma iti uktaha. So not only he is Maheshwaraha, he means Jivatma, Paraha Purushaha, is also called as Paramatma. He is the supreme Atma. He is the most powerful. He is the one who is controlling this entire body. Okay. Now, Paramatma is also referred to, God is also Paramatma. He is the Atma for the entire universe, right? We learned that, right? This entire universe comprising of all Jivatmas and the entire material nature is his body. He is the Atma for all. He is the one who is controlling all. So he is the great Atma, Paramatma. Okay. So Jivatma is also, when we are saying that, just Atma, we kind of think it's like, normal, ordinary, right? No, it is the most powerful. Atma is the most powerful. So we are calling it as Supreme Atma. It has full command over the body, right? Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Sorry, Paramatma here is not Paramatma, right? I mean, so it's still
Not God.
not God.
Still Atma only. Atma is referred to as or called as Paramatma.
Greatest.
Now, it is not directly given here, but we touched upon it earlier also. When you take a body, the living body, right? How many Atmas will be there in that body?
So many. Each
Yes.
of the parts.
Yeah. But are all of them active and controlling?
No, there's one main Atma. Right?
Yes. There's one main Jivatma. That is the one who is experiencing the results of that everything, like whether it is getting more karmic bondage, clearing more karmic bondage, everything is associated with that Jivatma. But there are other Atmas in the body also. Okay. So this Jivatma is controlling those Atmas. So what do you call this Jivatma? Paramatma. Right? Got it? How can we say that there are more Atmas in the body?
Because even if a person dies, we see that, right? Sometimes even there's some parts still move, right? Certain things we see that some leg kind of moving or hand, right? Because that means there are Atma in every part of it, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, simple example is, let's take a tree, one tree that is, having several branches, roots and several branches. And as a whole, the tree has a Jivatma, right? Now, if you take one small branch of it
You can
and then
plant.
plant it, okay? So now when you cut, see, this is where it is interesting. So you take the tree, and there's one Jivatma in it, and we know that Jivatma cannot be cut, isn't it? Jivatma is so minute, it's spreading, or it is spreading through the entire body with its knowledge, right? But Jivatma is very minute, it cannot be cut. For us, it is in the heart region. That's what Lord Krishna said. Prodhi sarvasya vishtitam. So this tree now has one Jivatma, and you cut a branch. What happened there? It is separated from the tree. So it's not like the Jivatma got cut into two pieces. One remained with the main tree, and the other is going with the branch. No, right? So that branch you plant it. If you give certain conditions to it, it will start growing. Okay, so there is one Jivatma that takes over in that particular branch. It was already existing in that branch before. So the Atma was there before, but it is under the control of the Jivatma. So our body also, every part of our body has Atmas which are like secondary, performing certain functions under the command of the Jivatma. And when Jivatma is not there, they cannot function by itself. So it starts disintegrating. But if you give certain conditions to it, that part of the body will start living. So that's why we see that, eyes can be donated, or any other parts of the body can be donated. So if there's only Jivatma and rest of it is all material, just having no knowledge at all, then as soon as the Jivatma leaves, then everything should be totally dead, right? Which is not the case. The body still functions, and under certain conditions. So there's one more thing is, again, if you take, you can grow certain organs based on just a few cells, right? So that growth means there is some Atma present in it. I mean, the material cannot grow by itself, or cannot have functions by itself, because it doesn't have knowledge. It's just the material. So when it is growing, it is having functions and things like that, you know that there is Atma in it. Okay, so there are multiple Atmas in a body, and Jivatma is the one that is controlling the material nature and other Atmas inside the body. Under the command of the main Jivatma, everything is functioning. So you call that as Paramatma. So when Paramatma leaves, when the Jivatma, which we are calling as Paramatma also, Lord Krishna said, which is the great Atma inside our body, inside this body, if that leaves, right, then the body will not function as it was functioning before. We may be able to take some parts of it and then make it function, but it will not remain as whatever was originally there earlier. So that is Maheshwaraha, Paramatma here referred to Jivatma only. This is that's why we're calling it as important shloka, because if you just read this chapter and then look at this particular shloka, we say, okay, now this refers to God, so there must be everything else must be God. Not the case. Here it is Jivatma, which is present in the body and controlling the body, commanding the body, and experiencing everything that happens in the body. It is getting attached to the experiences of that, which is giving its, that attachment is making it take birth again and again, right? So all this is related to Jivatma only. Okay. Any questions? Okay, we'll move on to the next sloka. Sloka 23. Ya enam vetti purusham
Ya enam vetti purusham
prakrutim cha gunai saha
prakritim cha gunais saha
sarvatha vartamanopi
sarvatha vartamanopi
na sa bhuyo bhijayate.
na sa bhuyo bhijayate.
Let's chant together. Ya
Ya enam vetti
Purusham
purusham
Prakritim
prakritim cha
Gunai
gunais
Saha
saha सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयो जायते.
Lord Krishna is continuing. Yaha veti. Yaha enam veti. Yaha veti. Whoever knows. Enam purusham. This Jivatma. So earlier Lord Krishna mentioned about Jivatma, Upadrashta, Anumanta, all that, right? So whoever knows this Jivatma, Prakrutincha gunai saha, and Prakriti along with gunas. Gunai saha along with gunas, Prakritin, so and Prakriti. So whoever knows this Jivatma and Prakriti, saha, that person, bhuyaha na abhijayate, never takes birth again. Okay. Sarvatha vartamanaha api. Sarvatha vartamanopi. Being present in any kind of body. Okay. So, whatever may be the body that we have right now, if we are able to understand, if we are able to know the difference between Jivatma and Prakriti, and the qualities of Jivatma, qualities of Prakriti, and why I mean, what are the kind of qualities that I need to have in order to get liberation? What are the kind of, like if I'm attached to the qualities of Prakriti, what is going to happen? All this, right? If I am able to know Jivatma and Prakriti, along with the gunas, the attributes of Jivatma, attributes of Prakriti, clearly, then we never take birth again. No matter what birth, what body that we have right now. So it is not necessary that we should be in the highest level in the society in terms of the spirituality compared to, it doesn't matter what level where it doesn't we are. What matters is that we need to know this. And of course, practice, right? Just reading the qualities and doing whatever we want to do after that is not going to work. So knowing it and practicing it based on this particular knowledge, then we do not take birth again. Simple. So one more thing is that when we know the Jivatma and Prakriti clearly, right, then we would also be knowing about Paramatma. Okay, so how this entire, Prakriti is functioning, how I am functioning, why did I, like, who placed me here? It's someone who is creating, someone is placing me into this body, someone is making everything function in this universe. So that is Paramatma. So I know about myself very clearly. That is Jivatma very clearly. I know about my body. I know my body means the body that I have right now. I know the qualities of Jivatma and the body. I know the qualities of Prakriti. I know why I took the birth. All that. Along with that, if I'm knowing all this, I also know about Paramatma, the one who is the creator, protector, and supporter of all, right? So we would learn that who am I, is Jivatma. Who placed me in this body? Jivatma did not by itself place itself into another body, right? So who is the creator? That is God, Paramatma. Now here we are referring to the Paramatma, who is the one who is controlling all the Jivatmas and Prakriti. Right? Now we are going one level above. And who is supporting me, this body and this entire universe is Paramatma. Who is my goal?
Paramatma.
Paramatma. That is God. My goal is to serve God. Right? So my goal is to reach God is little bit, I mean, if you say that I want to reach God, then it means that today I'm not with God. God is not here, so I want to go to some place where God is. But if I know very clearly, God is present everywhere, right? So reaching God is like a misnomer. Typically we say, I want to reach God. Means actually what we mean is we want to reach a place from where we do not have to take birth again.
Yeah.
It's not like God is not here, God is only some place and I want to go to that place, then I'll be happy. No. That place where we are referring to, where we are saying I want to attain that place, attain God, is same God is present here also, but the thing is that place from where I do not have to take birth again. But if I don't explain this, people will think that, oh, God is not here, God is only in some place. So in order to avoid the confusion, to be clear, I want to always serve God. That is the goal that we have. Now, today we are not able to serve God as we wish. Okay. So I want to reach a state where I will be able to serve God forever. I do not have to go through all these pains, taking births again and again, which will lead me to be away from God, in the sense that I will not be remembering God, I will not be serving God, maybe I will even be, going against God. Okay, so which is going to cause me trouble. So my goal is to serve God, to be in that service forever without any limitations. So that is my goal. And then we know where is God? God is in all beings, in this entire universe. This entire universe is his body. Why did I take birth again? So I'm giving, all the points one more time, just to be clear. So why did I take birth? Due to my attachment to the gunas of Prakriti and their effects. And how can I become eligible to be liberated? I should get the knowledge of the three realities. That's what Lord Krishna is saying here, right? Know about Jivatma and Prakriti along with their qualities. So get the knowledge of the three realities and then relinquish the attachment to the gunas, give up attachment to the effects of the gunas. And what is the instrument that is given to me in order to reach my goal or in order to uh, practice my goal? Practice towards reaching the goal. What is it?
Buddhi.
Buddhi. Buddhi is part of the body, right?
But
Body is the instrument. Body is the means that is given to. So the purpose of getting this body is to know this only. Unfortunately, we think of everything else. So Paramatma, God, is so kind enough to give us this body, in spite of making so many mistakes, so much, karmic bondage. He's always, again, Swamiji says very clearly. So we are getting this body, this kind of bodies again and again. So Paramatma is looking at maybe one time he will recognize. Maybe one time he will start following the path, and without any without losing hope, right? Giving us bodies again and again, millions of bodies so far we would have got. So the purpose of giving this body is only to know about him and to serve him. Okay. And in order to do that, we also need to know about ourselves and this body and all that. I mean, so this whole package we need to know. That's why Lord Krishna is giving the whole knowledge to us. So what is the means to achieve my goal? So we got the instrument. The instrument is the body, right? Only through the body we will be able to clear our karmic bondage. And the means to achieve our goal is exclusive devotion to God, surrender to God, right? So these are the points that were covered earlier also. So trying to put all of them together. So no matter what kind of body we have, Deva, Manusha, Tiryak, Sthavara, it doesn't matter. If we are able to practice these principles, we get the liberation. We will be eligible to get liberation. It's not like our practice of these principles will give us liberation. No, we will make ourselves eligible to get liberated. And one fine day, Paramatma may give us the liberation. Okay, but the purpose of getting liberation is to continuously serve Paramatma only. That's what we need to remember. We will move on to Sloka 24. Hope it is clear. Please stand. ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति
ज्ञानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति
केचिदात्मानमात्मना
केचिदात्मानमात्मना
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन
कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
कर्मयोगेन च परे
Stand together.
ध्यानेनात्मनि
ध्यानेनात्मनि
पश्यन्ति
पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना
अन्ये
अन्ये
साङ्ख्येन
साङ्ख्येन
योगेन
योगेन
कर्मयोगेन च परे
कर्मयोगेन च परे.
So, knowing about Jivatma, Prakriti, and Paramatma will give us liberation. Okay, from this cycle of births. Now, how do I get it? How do I know about myself? Right? Lord Krishna is giving us the answers. Dhyanena atmani pasyanti kechid atmanam atmana kechid pasyanti. Some see. Very simple Sanskrit once we split it. Atmanam is self, that is in the object form. So some see the self, some see the self means some realize the self, some understand the true nature of the self, right? Atmani. So Atmanam, Atmani, Atmana. Three Atma words came here. All three have different meanings. Atmanam is the Jivatma. No, I'm referring to Jivatma. So I'm seeing Jivatma. Some see the Jivatma in the body is Atmani, inside the body. Atmana, with the mind. See, Atma Samyama Yoga, we have 6th chapter name. That's mind, right? So Atma has different meanings in different contexts. It can refer to the Jivatma. It can refer to the body. It can refer to the mind, right? So, Atmanam. So some see the Jivatma in this body with the mind. Dhyanena, through meditation. Ena, wherever it comes, by or with or through, typically. So, Dhyanena, through meditation. Okay. So some see so some are able to do the meditation on the self and get the knowledge of self. And Anye, some others, Sankhena Yogena. Again, Ena is coming by. So Sankhya Yoga, by the Sankhya Yoga. So some others see the self or realize the self through Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya is the knowledge of the self. Right?
Second
So,
chapter.
second chapter, knowledge of the self. So that means we can also refer to knowledge is jnana, right? So jnana yoga. You can call it Sankhya yoga is referring to the knowledge of the self. But in general, that knowledge is given the word jnana, so you can say jnana yoga. So so some others are able to recognize their self through jnana yoga. Apare cha is and apare, some others, karma yogena, through karma yoga. So very simple. Some are able to realize Atma through dhyana yoga, meditation on their self. And some are able to recognize their self through jnana yoga. And some are able to see karma yoga, through karma yoga. So there are three stages that are given here. The highest stage is the one who is able to do the meditation. And we learned that it is not feasible for anybody to just suddenly say, okay, I want to do meditation, right? You cannot control mind that easily. So all our thoughts will go all over the place and you're not able to sit properly. You will start, we'll start thinking about everything that happened to us in the past, what will happen to us in the future. So the mind will not be focusing on the self. It is focused on the movies or the politics or the sports or everything that is going on, or jobs and people and family and everything, money. So it is going all over the place. So if this is the highest stage, if someone is able to do the meditation on Atma, and that is they have the balanced mind, controlled mind, single-minded focus. They have Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi, right? They're satisfied by themselves, right? They don't care about $1 million are there or no money is there. I mean, they have houses, no houses, cars, no cars. Whatever is happening in the world, they are basically satisfied by themselves only. They have single-minded focus. They are able to meditate. So that is dhyana yoga. So some are able to do that. Now, some others are they're able to recognize self through jnana yoga, knowledge of the self, right? So if we are not able to focus our mind, if we are not able to do the meditation, concentrate our mind on the self, okay, they are following the path of knowledge of the self, okay. And once we know about ourselves very clearly, then we will slowly will start able to make ourselves fit for meditation. Okay. So someone who doesn't have knowledge of self wants to do meditation, and what would they meditate on? They will meditate on some materialistic things. So if I don't have the knowledge of the self very clearly, I will not be able to focus on the self, right? So if I am not fit to do the meditation, then I need to gain the knowledge of the self, not just one reading. Like you have to, we have to, even if we, wake up from sleep, we should be able to immediately, recollect that kind of a thing. When I'm saying that, like typically we read about ourselves and all the qualities and everything, but as soon as we face some kind of a problem, we forget everything. So it is not like that. Knowledge of the self is always there with us. I am always Atma. This is my body. That should be with us. Then we will make ourselves eligible to do the meditation. So if you are not having the knowledge of the self, then what do you do? The third step is karma yoga, right? Going level down and down. So through karma yoga, we gain the knowledge of the self. Through that, we are able to do the meditation. Karma yoga also clears our karmic bondage, which act like obstacles for us in getting knowledge of the self, retaining that knowledge, and also the meditation, right? So the karma yoga clears those obstacles for us in proceeding with our getting the knowledge and doing the meditation. Okay, so those are the three that are given here. Next sloka continues. Any questions here? I mean, amazing how Lord Krishna gave this knowledge to us. Such a great.
All these Tritiya Vibhakti kadani, Sankhya, Yoga, Karma Yoga,
Yeah.
instruments, right? They're instruments for us to, right? They are like instruments for us to reach the next level, right? They're like, yeah.
Yeah, by. With.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm using with an instrument, I do work.
Yeah.
Or I fix something, right? An instrument through which we are able to attain certain things.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Please chant sloka 25. Anye tvevamajanantah
Anye
Anyevamajananta
Srutvanyebhya upasate
Rutva
Rutvanebhyapasate
Tepi chati tarantyeva
Tepi Chati
Chatitaranteva
Mrutyum Shruti Parayanaha.
Mrityum
Mrityum Shruti
Shruti
Parayana.
Let's chant together.
Anye Tveva Majananta Rutva Upasate Tepi Chati Tarantyeva
Mrityum
Mrityum Shruti
Parayana.
Parayana.
Directly related to us. This particular sloka. What we are doing right now. Okay. So Lord Krishna is saying, Anyetu, but others. So he gave three levels of people, three types of people. earlier in the previous sloka. Now, continuing, others, evam ajanantaha, not knowing this. Okay? Not knowing this previously mentioned karma yoga. Right? So first is dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga. And not knowing karma yoga, others who do not know karma yoga, what do? Shrutva anyebhyaha upasate. Shrutva, after hearing, anyebhyaha, from others, upasate, meditate on the self with the help of karma yoga and so on. So if I don't know about karma yoga also, then I don't know knowledge of self, then I don't have I am not eligible or fit to do the meditation. So those, if we are in that state, what do we need to do? After hearing from others who are wise, who are able to teach us about these concepts, right? So they're able to teach us about karma yoga, and knowledge of the self and meditation and all that. Okay, so second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter, fifth, sixth, whatever we learned, right? So we have to listen to those people, the wise people, and get that knowledge, and then do the meditation. I mean, do the activity related to that. So first is easy thing is karma yoga. Then you start getting knowledge of the self. Then we are able to do the meditation on the self. Okay, so listening to others is so important. So we may think this pravachanam, discourses, who will go to those discourses? Somebody was saying that, but Lord Krishna directly gave answer. This is most important. Whatever Acharya can give to us, I mean, we do not have the knowledge. When we don't have the knowledge, we need to listen to those who have the knowledge, who are able to teach us. Then we are able to practice, right? So listening is one of the most important things. Okay. And then the next set of people, te shruti parayanaha cha api. Shruti parayanaha is those who are devoted to hearing. Apicha also, right? So this is the fifth level. I mean, I'm interested in listening. Okay. If first is interest in listening, then listening to the wise people, and then you will get the knowledge. Start practicing karma yoga. If we are not at that level of directly, meditation level, or so everyone is at different stage, right? So the path is, first you listen, get the knowledge, practice, then your knowledge becomes secure, right? And then we are able to meditate on that knowledge. Then we are able to realize ourselves, self. Okay. So what happens after we do that is mrutyum ati taranti eva. Taranti is crossing. Mrutyum is death. Eva, certainly. So certainly we will cross beyond death. Right? So listening is very, very important. In second chapter also, Lord Krishna said, Shruti Vipratipanna, right?
Yada sthasyate nischala samadha.
Very good. Very good. Yes.
Tada
Yeah. So listen. I mean, if we listen to the wise people, right? That knowledge itself, whatever we listened, will transform us, right? So we may not be able to understand initially also, right? But listen, keep listening. That devotion to listening. Like I'm interested in listening. Okay. So if I'm interested in listening, it is clearing my karmic bondage. That itself. Okay. So we need to keep listening. Whenever we find time, keep listening to the wise. Sri Swamiji. So many lectures are there. Just keep listening. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to sit down and start taking notes. If you are doing some work, just keep listening. Again, about Bhagavad Gita, all this, knowledge that Lord Krishna is giving to us, right? Just keep listening. All of you are doing, but whoever is listening to this later point of time, maybe thinking, oh, what am I getting? I don't know whether I'm going to practice or not. Don't have to worry. Listening to this itself will make you eligible to become liberated. Okay. Don't have to even act on it. You don't have to think that you will be able to act on it. Keep listening. But be interested in listening. That's all. You don't have to do anything else. So that is the first stage. Paramatma's blessings, Acharya's blessings will be there with you, with everyone who is listening, to take them to the next level. You don't, I mean, if I think that I'm doing it, then I'll fail. But this message is so powerful that the message itself is going to lift you up, right? So keep listening, and then we'll be able to finally attain that state of crossing the death. Here means crossing that cycle of births and deaths. Okay, there's no death for Atma, and body will someday will have to disintegrate, dissolve. So that is certain. But we will be able to, we will be protected from this, I mean, from the cycles. Okay. Any questions?
No, very nice. Yeah.
Sloka 26. Okay. Very simple sloka, so hopefully we'll be able to finish this also. I'll share my screen. Please chant. Yavat sanjayate kinchit
यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित्
Sattvam sthavarajangam
सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
Kshetra kshetrajna samyogat
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात्
Tadvidhi bharatarshava.
तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
Let's chant together.
यावत्
संजायते
किञ्चित्
सत्त्वं
सत्त्वं
स्थावरजङ्गमम्
स्थावरजङ्गमम्
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात्
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात्
तद्विद्धि
तद्विद्धि
भरतर्षभ.
भरतर्षभ.
Okay, so Lord Krishna is saying, "Hey Bharatarshava, Arjuna, yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam." Yavat, whatever. Kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam sanjayate. Kinchit means any. Sthavara jangamam means sthavara is immovable. Jangamam is movable. Anything, sattvam is being, anything that is manifested, right? So kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam sanjayate. Sanjayate means born. So any movable or immovable being is born. Okay, whenever whatever being is born, there is only two categories of movable, immovable, right? So anything that is born in this universe, that is created, manifested in this universe, tat vidhi, know that, kshetra kshetrajna samyogat, know that to be born due to the association of kshetra, that is body, kshetrajna is the self. So any being in this universe, whether it is movable or immovable, it is always born due to the association of Jivatma and a body. So Kshetrajna is inside the Kshetra. That is that being, that Sattvam, we are calling it as Sattvam, that which exists, not the quality Sattvam. Okay, so anything that is any being is an association of body and self. Okay. So why, I mean, this is more very important, is that we kind of think this is initially people think whatever living things only have atmas in them. Okay. So it is not just living things having atmas. We call mountain is, we don't call it as living, right? So mountain don't have atma, we think that way. Or of course, now people know that trees are having life also, and all that. But so any immovable thing, they were thinking, oh, it's not, it doesn't have atmas in them. But Lord Krishna made it very clear. Anything that you see, anything that is born, is a combination of body and self. Okay, so what happens? I mean, when we say that there's a living person, and that person passes away, right? So Jivatma leaves. Now, according to this principle, anything that is movable or immovable is a combination of body and self, right? So that dead, we call it as dead body, is immovable, is also having a kshetrajna in it. That is I mean, that's why we earlier we said any body will have multiple Atmas in it. Okay, so only thing is they're secondary. So the let's say we take any body and cut into two pieces, you separate them out, then it will have it is a combination of body and self, right? So if let us say there is a table, I'm able to see this table, so I'll think, oh, this table has body and Atma in it. But table did not come by itself, right? It is part of a tree before. So it was separated from it. So when it was with the tree, then this Atma is also there. His body is also with the tree. So when it got separated, now I can see this as a immovable table, which is having Atma and body. So any small thing that you see, okay, it has Atma in it. So if we are able to go up to the level of an atom, then that also has Atma in it. Okay, so nothing exists in this world without having Atma in it. Any questions? This is simple but very powerful. Next slokas are based on this sloka, sloka 26. Okay. Questions?
So
Okay.
especially immovables, right? I mean, there is Stavaras, right? I mean, mountains. They're part of Prakriti kadandi. Ante the Atma in them, right? It's from Prakriti. That's no, right? I mean, that's
So every body in this universe, anything that you see,
right.
right,
From
it's a
Panchibhuta.
combination of the material Prakriti,
Panchibhutas, right? Yeah. That's right.
that we call it as Kshetra, it's body, right? And inside that there is a Atma.
Kshetri, yeah.
Okay. Anything that you like, you look at a paper.
Right.
Why people used to I mean, people not used to respect
Right.
even a
Yeah.
paper.
Right. Yeah. And
We don't disrespect anything.
right.
When you see an insect,
Right.
insect also is a combination of a body, the material nature, body, kshetra, and there is a Jivatma present inside that, kshetrajna present inside that insect. The reason why it took that form is because of its attachment to the gunas. That I mean, that Jivatma, probably like a human being in the previous life,
Right.
but because of attachment of the gunas,
It's a
that is
different.
a kind of birth it got next life, right?
Right.
So, or it could take the form of a mountain. Now, mountain also, um, it's not like doesn't have a function, right? Mountain also has a certain function to it. It is so anything that you see, we may not be able to understand what is the function that that particular kshetrajna is, causing the body. See, body by itself is inert,
Yeah.
can't have any function by itself, right? Any knowledge by itself. When it's a function, knowledge, right? And it doesn't have knowledge. So there must be something in it to give that knowledge to function.
Right.
So that's something that when I'm saying why I'm saying knowledge is The nature of the Kshetrajna is knowledge. So there is some Kshetrajna inside that Kshetra, which is giving that, which is able, with its knowledge, it is able to make it function, right? So even a mountain, tree, whatever you can think of. So now mountain is split into multiple rocks.
Right.
Now the rock exists by itself.
Yeah.
Should have the Atma in it because based on this sloka, Lord Krishna, right? Because so that means that that rock was having Atma before. So yeah, so any inert, I mean, we think inert, right? We think that it doesn't have function. We only look at it as a body only. But Lord Krishna is telling very clearly, don't think that it is just a body. It has Kshetrajna in it. And he is going to tell next that all Kshetrajnas are equal. Whether it is existing in the body of an insect or a bird or an animal or human being or a devata, all Kshetrajnas are equal in knowledge. That is the next principle, which we learned in chapter 5 earlier also.
Very interesting. I think a lot of inner meaning in each of them, right? It's like you said,
Yes.
one-liner sloka kind of a thing, especially the previous ones, right? 2021 and all of them.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll conclude. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणाय समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणाय समर्पयामि
Sri Krishna
सर्वं
Arpanam.
श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः
Jai
जय
Shri.
श्री
Thank you very much, Andy. Jai Shri Maharaj.
जय श्री
Thank you very much.
Thank you. जय श्री